What's up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today I'm going to discuss a woman with an even greater bloodthirst than the vampiric Lady Dimitrescu. Believe it or not, the relentless yet eloquent giantess is based on a real-life Eastern European noblewoman who was convicted of murdering and torturing hundreds of young women. If you're prepared to meet a person even more vile than the fictional Dimitrescu, then look no further. Perhaps in our trip to the past, we will discover even more about the failed experiment that countless fans have come to know as Lady Dimitrescu. So, without further ado, let's get started. Lady Dimitrescu was one of 4 lords of a fictional village led by Mother Miranda. Although we're not aware of its precise location, we do learn from Chris Redfield that the events of Resident Evil 8 took place in Eastern Europe, home to none other than Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian countess born during the mid-1500s. Despite the fact that her name may not be known to some, her infamous deeds are world-renowned. Elizabeth Bathory was born August 7, 1560 in present-day Slovakia. She was the niece of Stephen Bathory, the King of Poland, and shared noble ancestry due to the blood ties from her mother's side. This bloodline was plagued by generational inbreeding, and its consequences took a toll on young Elizabeth. As a child, Elizabeth suffered from numerous epileptic seizures, and it is here that the line between fact and fiction became indistinguishable. At the time, it was commonplace to treat epilepsy, or the falling sickness, by rubbing blood on the affected individual's lips. It had been speculated that her treatments as a child influenced her sadistic behaviors as an adult, even going so far as to claim that she bathed in the blood of virgins to retain her youth and rejuvenate herself, much like the cherished sanguis virginis that Lady Dimitrescu indulged in. Over 300 witness testimonies and countless corpses found at Castle Sejet lend credence to a number of the atrocities that she did subject her victims to, including burning young girls and women with hot tongs, mutilation, severe beatings, starvation, exposure to severe cold temperatures, and biting the flesh off of their faces, to name a few. On December 12, 1610, Thurzo, the Palatine of Hungary, arrested Elizabeth Bathory in her castle of Sejet, alongside a number of female servants who were implicated in their heinous crimes, where she would remain imprisoned for the duration of her life. It seemed our Lady Dimitrescu definitely took a page from her predecessor's book, as she also seemed to suffer from an illness and sought out blood as the remedy to her ailments. Alcina was most likely anemic, based on her pallid appearance and insatiable thirst for iron-rich blood. Although many seem to state that she had hemophilia, it is highly unlikely due to the fact that women carry 2 X chromosomes and are often carriers of the illness. They seldom exhibit the symptoms of hemophilia, as these are typically observed in males, due to their chromosomal makeup. Another interesting parallel is the fact that Lady Dimitrescu seemed to take in only female servants. This would explain why the Motoraika are all infected females who had been subjected to blood draining and then revived by the mold. The red fluid in the cellars was not wine, but rather pools of blood that had been harvested from the countless victims. Lastly, the 3 daughters of Dimitrescu bore a striking resemblance in their role as collaborators in their mother's sadistic practices and blood-draining behaviors. This mirrors the loyal servants who were present at the time of Elizabeth Bathory's arrest. In the end, Lady Dimitrescu was yet another of Mother Miranda's failed experiments, an unsuitable host for her deceased daughter, who had left a void where her heart and soul once were. Was it this knowledge that compelled Lady Dimitrescu to commit such abominable acts? Or was it simply her nature as an aristocrat born into status and power that led her to believe she was free to impose her will on those less fortunate? I'll leave you to decide. And until next time, it's the Inhuman one, signing out.